Yeah, no.
Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct, I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, I got correct.
Step correct or don't step at all.
Step correct,
I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be.
Step correct, that means correct.
I seen cats come through the cypher talking loud, me mugging at the crowd like the pose alone was gonna carry the verse. First bar hit and the curse of the underprepared kicked in real fast. Nothing behind the blast of the entrance. I've been watching this for years. The room clears for the genuinely ill, not the dressed up ill. I've been building the skill since before the skill was worth anything to anybody. In the basement with nobody watching, that's where the real gets built. No lights, no guilt of the perform, just the bar and the truth. But whether it's ready or not, step correct, that's all I got to say to every MC coming with the noise. The room don't care about the poise, it cares about what happens when you open your mouth. Step correct, north, east, west, south.
Step correct, but don't step at all. Step correct, I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, that means correctly.
I don't need the cosign from the name on the marquee. The room will tell me if the bar is marquee or bench warmer. The crowd is the honest jury, and the jury's verdict comes in a hurry when the real hits versus when the average lands. I seen it in the hands of the crowd. They move different for the actual, the contractual between the MC and the listener is simple. Bring the heat, don't wrinkle under the pressure of the real moment. I've been a component of the session that refused to fold. Every cipher hot or cold, I step correct. That means I came prepared. I came with the bar that shared something true in the delivery. Step correct, that's the history.
Step correct or don't step at all. Step correct, I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, that means correct. Step correct or don't step at all. Step correct, I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, that means correctly.
The ones who last in this are the ones who came correct from day one. The direct line between the work put in and the position held. I never once withheld the effort from the session thinking I'd save it. For a bigger moment I gave it every time. Like every time was the time. That's not the rhyme of it, it's original, that's the literal. The peripheral gets cut when you perform below your level. For the small room, every revel in the large room started in the small one. Step correct in the hall before the stage. I've been stepping correct since the hall. Every defect in the delivery got addressed in the work. Step correct, no smirk, no shortcut, no borrowed posture. Step correct, that's the rock.
Step correct or don't step at all. Step correctly, I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correctly, that means correctly. Step correct or don't step at all. Step correct, I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, that means correctly. Step correct, that's the only way in. Step correct, where the real begins.
I wanna know. I wanna rush.
I don't know.
Rush me back, the ocean gotta know. Yeah.
It's the narrow passage, the corridor of choice, where only what is genuine can carry its own voice. The wide road is for everyone, the narrow is the test. The only path that separates the real from all the rest. It's the narrow passage, the corridor of choice, where only what is genuine can carry its own voice. The wide road is for everyone, the narrow is the test. The only path that separates the real from all the rest. I remember the hallway of the building where I grew, so narrow that two people had to sideways get on through. But we managed, we said sorry, we gave and we received. In the narrowness of the passage, everybody believed in the basic of the courtesy, the simplest human act to navigate the tight spaces, the navigational fact of the shared, of the common, of the block is one machine, where the gears are all the people and the grease is the unseen, of the daily acknowledgement, the nod and the step aside, the narrow passage teaching what the wide road tries to hide. My mother was the widest person in that narrow hall, because she made the room for everyone against the wall. Step back without a word and let the neighbor pass with grace. The narrow passage showing you the size of someone's face. I seen a man fill up a doorway with his ego
ego and his claim, turning every entrance in the theater in flame. The narrow passage humbles you, what makes you find a door to knock on every morning until you can't anymore. I chose the narrow passage when the wide was offered me, the shortcut through the building to the place I wanted to be. Went through the narrow corridor of the difficult and true, and every step inside it showed me what I made it to. The ones who took the wide road got there fast and got there wrong. Building on a platform with the seams already gone, I laid the brick the slow way in the narrow of the hall. And what I built is standing with no lean and with no fall. The narrow passage is the only metric that I trust, where you find out if you're iron or if you find out you're just dust. You wanna know who a man really is? Watch him in a tight space when there's no room to perform. You only got what you actually are. Now I watch my daughter navigate the passages alone. The corridors are choices that will shape her into stone, or shape her into something that the stone can be instead. The supple and the living built from everything I said. I tell her, find a narrow, find the one that takes the time, where nobody's applauding and nobody's reading the rhyme. Do the thing for the thing itself in the corridor of the real, not the wide road version of the performed appeal. She's learning that the passage is the thing, not the arrival. That the narrow builds the character for long-term survival. And I watch her from the stoop where I was watching as a boy. Every narrow passage she comes through becoming her own joy. The corridor is ancient and the corridor is new, passed from hand to hand and built for everyone who's true. It's the narrow passage, the corridor of choice, where only what is genuine can carry its own voice. The wide road is for everyone, the narrow is the test, the only path that separates the real from all the rest. It's the narrow passage, the corridor of choice, for only what is genuine can carry its own voice. The wide road is for everyone, the narrow is the test, the only path that separates the real from all the rest. Jump, gotcha. The passage stays open for the ones who walk it right. Peace. I don't know. Emcees One Block. Emcees One Block. One boom box on the stoop. We ran the same loop since before the loop was worth anything. Wrote every day the offering of the back-to-back notebook. Sometimes he'd fill a page, I'd fill the rhymes of the facing page. We read each other's like we were brothers of the bar, which we were in the way that matters. He scattered the weak bar, my early style with a look. Never a lecture, the book of his approach was the demonstration. He played his version of the same situation, and the difference between his and mine was the specific line between the practice and the almost. He had the long bar and I had the compact. We traded in the exact middle of our two approaches is where the good work encroaches on the great. Every record we made was better than either solo. He pushed me past the low hanging fruit of the easy rhyme, the comfortable paradigm of the syllable that fits but doesn't earn. Every session was the burn of the race standard. 2 MCs, 1 block, the mander. The both of us watching kept it honest. The hardest audit is the one who knows your catalog by heart. 2 MCs, 1 block. The cipher was the school. 2 MCs, 1 block. Nobody played the fool. We pushed each other past the easy and the known. 2 MCs, 1 block. That's how the craft gets grown. 2 MCs, 1 block. The cipher was the school. 2 MCs, 1 block. Nobody played the fool. We pushed each other past the easy and the known. 2 MCs, 1 block. That's how the craft gets grown. We went different directions after the block years. He went south, I stayed. No fears of the separated ever materialized. The craft keeps you synchronized with the ones who built it with you at the root. I hear them in the boot of their approach. I take to every bar the particular scar of his influence in my method permanent. The current version of my delivery carries his fingerprint in the specific squint of the phrase at the close of the bar. That's him, his particular star, and I carry his precision, the vision of the concrete over the abstract. He had the intact commitment to the specific image, the name. I've been the unnamed general before his discipline of the exact. Fix the way I track the bar to the real. 2 MCs, the deal is you carry everyone who built with you under the sun of the formatted through every verse after. I carry him the laughter of the block and the notebook and the stoop. Scratch 2 MCs, 1 loop. 2 MCs, 1 block. The cipher was the school. 2 MCs, 1 block. Nobody played the fool. We pushed each other past the easy and the known. 2 MCs, 1 block. That's how the craft gets grown. 2 MCs, 1 block. The cipher was the school. 2 MCs, 1 block. Nobody played the fool. We pushed each other past the easy and the known. 2 MCs, 1 block. That's how the craft gets grown. 2 MCs, 1 block. The root of what I do. Every bar right has got his fingerprint too. 2.
Yo, real recognize real, that's not a slogan, that's a fact. I walked in the rooms and immediately clocked who was operating genuine and who was dressed. The real ones never pressed for the validation. They moved different, spoke different, held it indifferent. These are the man who knows what he is without the room confirming it. The fake ones need the room to tell them they're real. Need to cop to their appeal for the credibility they didn't build. I've been skilled at the red since the early. The genuine has a specific discipline and how it carries itself at rest. No performance for the chest of no audience. The real is the same at 2 a.m. alone as it is in the frame or the public moment. Real recognize real. Component of the genuine is the consistent. Yo. A real recognize real, the room don't lie. Real recognize real, you can see it in the eye. The walk, the voice, the way he holds the space. Real recognize real, you can read the face. Yo, I've been read correctly by the genuine. Every real one in the discipline of whatever they were doing saw me and nodded. I've been applauded by the ones whose applause I wanted, not the crowd, the haunted. And the serious and the built from scratch. The greatest patch of the validation I ever received came from a man who believed in nothing he hadn't personally verified. He verified me, I tried to deserve it every day after. Real recognize real, the laughter of the crowd is nice, but the nod of the real one is the rod and staff of the genuine career. The real ones in the room are clear about what they see in you. Real recognize real, the room don't lie. Real recognize real, you can see it in the eye. The walk, the voice, the way he holds the space. Real recognize real, you can read the face. The real recognize real, the room don't lie. Real recognize real, you can see it in the eye. The walk, the voice, the way he holds the space. Real recognize real, you can read the face. But real recognize fake too and faster. The plaster of the perform cracks early to the practice style. I don't let it slide by out of the social grace of the pretend. I adjust my position and I tend to the actual. The fake don't get the access to the real that the real gets. The practice of the circle management is the real applied to the social. Who's in the room when I'm building? Who gets the unguarded? The true version of the working self is the question of the real recognized real session. I've been careful about the room since the lesson of the costume played out in front of me in real time. Real recognize real, that's the rhyme and the reason and the code. Real recognize real, that's the road, 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 that's the road. But real recognize real, the room don't lie. Real recognize real, you can see it in the eye. The walk, the voice, the way he holds the space. Real recognize real, you can read the face. A real recognize real, the room don't lie. Real recognize real, you can see it in the eye. The walk, the voice, the way he holds the space. Real recognize real, you can read the face. Real recognize real, it's always been the way. Yeah. Real recognize real, yeah. Every single day.
Yeah. I keep a cold ledger on everything I'm owed and everything I owe. The full code of the actual, not the romanticized account. Every transaction gets the full amount of the honest. What was given, what was taken, what was promised and forsaken, what was earned and what was handed. I keep the ledger two-handed, debit and credit both, no selective. Recording the perspective of the partial ledger is the man who keeps the wins and throws the can on the losses. I record the full balance. That's not the talent of the callous. That's the discipline of the accurate. The cold ledger, passionate about the real arithmetic of what occurred.
Cold ledger,
the full account, no edit.
Cold ledger,
debits facing all the credits.
Cold ledger,
what you gave, what you took, what you owe.
Cold ledger,
that's how the real numbers go.
Cold ledger,
the full account, no edits.
Cold ledger,
debits facing all the credits.
Cold ledger,
what you gave, what you took, what you owe.
Cold ledger,
that's how the real numbers go. I've been keeping the cold ledger on myself hardest. The internal audit is the farthest from the comfortable. Every gap between the stated and the lived gets seen in the cold ledger column labeled true. I don't doctor what I do with the pen of the self-forgiven too quickly. I let the entry sit prickly for a minute before the response. The cold ledger doesn't want the once over of the excuse, it wants the entry. I've been my own accountant, century of the honest record of the live. What I gave and what I didn't give. When the giving cost me something or two. Different columns, I keep both true. Scratch,
cold ledger,
the full account, no edits.
Cold ledger,
debits facing all the credits.
What you gave,
what you gave, what you took, what you owe.
Cold ledger,
that's how the real numbers go.
Cold ledger,
the full account, no edits.
Cold ledger,
debits facing all the credits.
What you gave,
what What you gave, what you took, what you owe.
Cold ledger.
That's how the real numbers go. The cold ledger on a relationship is the hardest read. The grip of the emotionally invested on the number makes the audit stumble. You want the ledger to say what you want instead of what it says. The front of the wish color's the entry. I keep the century of the code at the door of the accountant. No wish allowed in the mountain of the actual balance is the work. Every entry in the ledger, quirk, and all is the material of the honest relationship with what occurred. The promise of the cold ledger is the accurate map. I know exactly where I am scratched.
Cold ledger.
The full account, no edits.
Cold ledger.
Debits facing all the credits.
What you gave,
what you gave, what you took, what you owe.
Cold ledger.
That's how the real numbers go.
Cold ledger.
The full account, no edit.
Cold ledger.
Debits facing all the credits.
What you gave,
what you gave, what you took, what you owe.
Cold ledger.
That's how the real numbers go.
Cold ledger.
The balance and the true.
No edit.
No wish, just what you
Cold
do.
ledger. Cold ledger.
Yo, yo.
My word is born. My word is born. My word is born. No take backs, no one. My word is born. My word is born. No take backs, no one. My word is born. My word is born. No take backs, no one. My word is born. My word is born. My word is born. I said it so it's done. No run. My word is born. No take backs, no run from what I put my name on. That's the code. My word is born. Lightest thing I own, heaviest load.
That's where I come from, a place where the handshake was the contract. No paper, no lawyer, no act of the witness, just the eye contact and the stated. The man who violated the handshake had no recovery in the block. You could lose everything, get got, come back from it over time, rebuild the name, but break your word in the frame of the identity shattered permanent. I learned the permanent nature of the word given at 12 years old, watching the cold treatment of the man who said and didn't do. That image carried through every situation I've been in since. My word is born. The evidence of the character is the kept word, not the stated. I kept mine, awaited simplicity of the said and the done matching.
My word is born. My word is born. Take back. My word is born. My word is born. Take back. My word is born. My word is born. Take back. My word is born. My word is born. Take back.
So I'm careful about what I put my word on. I don't promise the dawn if I'm not sure I can deliver the dawn. I'd rather say nothing and be gone than say yes and not show up. The slow up of the overpromise is the slow poison of the reputation. I've been choosing the honest, no over the comfortable. Yes, for years the stress of the undelivered promise is heavier than the temporary discomfort of the honest. I said I'd be there. I was modest in what I promised and massive in the delivery. My word is born. The history of my yes is 100%. Every time I said I went. No, my word is born. My word is born. No one take backs, no one. My word is born. My word is born. No one take backs, no one. My word is born. My word is born. No one take backs, no one. My word is born. My word is born. No one take backs, no one. In a world where the word means less every year, where the text replaces the clear eye contact of the stated, where the contract of the said is abstract, because nobody expects to follow through. I hold the old code true, not out of the nostalgia of the thing, out of the specific sting of the broken word I experience. I know what it feels like to be left with someone's word and nothing else. I keep mine so nobody else stands where I stood with the empty hand of the unkept. Understand, my word is born because I know the cost of the word that got lost in the space between the said and the done. My word is born from now until I'm gone. My word is born. My word is born. No take backs, no more. My word is born. No take backs, no more. My word is born. No take backs, no more. My word is born. No take backs, no run. My word is born, the only thing that's truly mine. My word is born, held it every single time. No take backs, no run. My word is born, held it every truly mine. No take backs, no run.
The word woman now living on the jam. The word woman now living on the shaft. The word woman now living on the shaft. The word woman now living on the jab. The work woman now living on the jab.
Yo, proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. Proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. Everybody's got the vision, half of them got the dream, a quarter got the plan, fewer than they seem. Got the proof of work behind the plan. The unglamorous, the done, the can of the living sitting in the archive of the actual. I don't accept the contractual obligation of the claim. Show me the done, show me the session that began before the audience arrived. Show me the draft you survived through before the finished version. Show me the early rough dispersion of the idea into the first attempt. That's the proof of work. Work exempt from the impressive claim is no one. The proof of work is the honest one that carries the real and the tested. Proof of work, I'm invested only in what's been delivered. Scratch. Proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. Proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. I've been building the proof since before it was checked. Every session was the respect for the craft over the attention. When nobody was paying mention to what I was putting in the booth, I was putting in the truth of the practice. The proof of work accumulates in the dark. The quirk of the serious is the continuous, regardless of the audience. I didn't need the room to keep the hours. The hours were the towers of the proof that nobody could take back. When the attention finally came to track, record of the done spoke. Before I opened my mouth, I woke the proof of work and let it do the introduction. Proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. Proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. So when they question the position that I hold, I open up the archive. Cold, chronological, documented. Here's the proof of work presented in the order of the done, not the stated. The claim is easily fabricated. The proof of work requires the sessions, the drafts, the early impressions of the idea being tested against the real. I don't need the appeal to the reputation or the name. The proof of work makes the claim irrelevant. The done is the argument. Every bar I ever meant is in the record of the delivered. Proof of work, I've lived it. Bring what you've done and we can talk. Proof of work, that's the walk. Proof of work, the only currency I trust. Proof of work, the ledger doesn't rust. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. Proof of work, woman gotta live it on the tab. Proof of work, woman gotta live it on the tab. Not the claim, not the name, not the stated level. Proof of work, bring it to the table. The work, woman gotta, the work, woman gotta let the work, woman gotta let it on the chap. Proof of work, the archive and the done. Not what you said you do, what you become.
Rucker Park in August and the whole block show. Rucker Park in August and the whole block show. Rucker Park in August.
Rucker Park in August and the whole block showed. Every MC with something to prove came and glowed or crashed in the cypher. No middle ground here. The crowd is the jury, the atmosphere is the sentence delivered in real time. You get 10 seconds into the rhyme before the energy of the room decides your fate. I stepped in and I ate on the practice I put in every morning alone. The specific bar to hone, approach landing exactly where I wanted it. The crowd's feet moved, I want it. Before the second bar was done, that's the sum of the work for me in the moment. Rucker Park in August, the component of the real test. Every rep has to pass it. Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park in August, nobody's crested. The hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August, show what you've done. Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park in August, nobody's crested. The hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August, Show what you've done. I seen cats freeze at the sight for mouth. All that practice, all that south. Bronx bedroom energy disappeared. The second the crowd appeared and the pressure of the actual kicked in. The discipline of the practice collapses without the spine of the comfortable and the live. You either carry it to the live or you don't. I won't front. I froze once at 17. Stood in the sight for me, mugging to buy time for the verse to arrive. It didn't. I survived the embarrassment and went back to the basement. That erasement of the ego was the best thing that happened to me.
Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park the parking, nobody's crested. The hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August, show what you've done. Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park and nobody's crested. The hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August, show what you've done.
The park don't care about your tape or your connects. The park only respects what you bring to the circle in real time. Every rhyme graded by the body of the crowd. Did the heads nod? Did the crowd get loud? Or did it land flat? I've been all of that, flat and loud in both of the education. The Rucker Park summation of who you are as an MC is specific. The terrific and the crashed are the same school, different lesson. I'll be back for the next session. Circle forms, I'm stepping to the center. Rucker Park in August, the mentor.
Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park and nobody's crested. The hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August, show what you've done. Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park and nobody's crested. The hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August, show what you've done. Rucker Park in August, circle in the crowd. Circle in with the real. Stepping loud, 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 loud.
Yo, I mapped the block before I mapped myself. The shelf of the external knowledge filled first. The thirst for the internal map came later. The greater project, the cartography of the self. The wealth for the known territory, confident. The mocking of the self-knowledge. You think you know the territory. The mandatory revision of the internal map. The trap of the self-conception held too long. The wrong map gets you lost in your own territory. The mandatory survey of the actual verse. The assumed, the consumed self-image meaning the revision, the decision, the update. The map is the heart of cartography. The cartographer's block, the survey of the self. The shelf of the known territory, always partial. The martial art of the honest internal survey. The very map you walk by is wrong, updated. Gets you lost in your own untoldly. Yeah. The unmapped territory is where I actually live. The give of the unknown edges of the self. The shelf of the comfortable known stop. Somewhere to wear of the edges. The interest in address. The stress of the unmapped unfamiliar mind. The fine cartography of the self. Expanding the commanding edge where the known stops. The drops of the cliff at the edge of the map. The tap of the unknown on the known's boundary. The mandatory expansion of the territory. You can only live in what you map. I map out with every year a different edge. The cartographer's block. Cartographer's block, cartographer's block, the survey of the self. Cartographer's block, the survey of the self. Cartographer's block, cartographer's block. The honest map includes the dead ends, the bends of the cul-de-sac. Acknowledge the acknowledged dead end is the honest cartography. The topography of the self includes the routes, the stop, the drop, pursuit, the failed direction, the specific correction of the course that required the dead end first. The thirst of the honest cartographer, a practitioner who draws a whole territory. The mandatory dead end on the honest map, the trap of omitting the dead ends, the ends that didn't work are part of the map. The map is false without them. The cartographer's block, the survey of the self. 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 The wrong map gets you lost in your own territory. The unmapped edge is the interest in the dress. The dead ends are part of the honest map. Debated. Lighter beat. Lighter beat. Lighter beat.
Performance hand, built to never ask for the recognition of the daily sacrifice. Performance hand, paid every price, carried the family on the callus and the grip. Performance hand, performance hand, performance hand, that's the whole script.
My father's hands told the whole story without words. No glory in the telling. The nerds of the biographical never got to him. He kept everything slim and private between the family walls. Callous from the 30-year halls of the Foreman shift. 6 a.m., no debate. I watched those hands operate on a Sunday when he fixed the sink. The intimate connection between the hand and the tool. Not the casual, the fool with the wrench, but the specific weight of the practice. You could calculate the years and how he held the thing. I was 14, standing in the doorway, watching, already writing in the book. The benefit of the witness is to carry forward.
The foreman's hands built it, never asked for the recognition of the daily sacrifice. The foreman's hands paid every price, carried the family on the callus and the grip. The foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, that's the whole script.
He retired with the hands of a man who worked, not the death soft, the quirked and scarred and capable. I shook his hand at the table of the retirement dinner. Felt 30 years in the palm, the gears of the decade in the skin. I've been carrying him in every bar since I understood that the session in the booth is the same as the foreman's shift. You show up or you drift, the sentiment is not the substitute. He never missed his route to the floor in 30 years. Scratch, that's where the art appears.
The foreman's hands built it, never asked for the recognition of the daily sacrifice. The foreman's hands paid every price, carried the family on the callus and the grip. The foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, that's the whole script.
I write about him because he never wrote about himself. The shelf of the self-documented was empty. He kept a plenty of his interior for the Sunday table only. Not lonely, not holier than just the old man, where the work was the statement of the character. The spectacular was in the showing up Monday to Saturday. I translated the hands into the bar. Every verse a scar of is translated into the language I speak. Every week of the 30 years is in the music. I use it because the foreman's hands deserve the record.
The foreman's hands built it, never asked for the recognition of the daily sacrifice. The foreman's hands paid every price, carried the family on the callus and the grip. The foreman's hands built it, never asked for the recognition of the daily sacrifice. The foreman's hands paid every price, carried the family on the callus and the grip. The foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, the foreman's hands, that's the whole script. The foreman's hands,
The callous and the years, my verses are his hands. That's what appears.
I operate on the long frequency, not the season, not the urgency of the quarterly, not the trend cycles, short attention, the recycles of the moment never reach my signal, because my signal is the original long wave I built for the decade, not the weekend. The trade of the popular for the permanent is the first commitment of the long frequency operator. I've been the slow, patient narrator of the built while the fast ones burn bright and brief. I took the night of the younger members accumulation over the day of the summation that arrives before
before the substance. On the long frequency, the substance is the prerequisite. The surface comes after.
The long frequency, the signal that endures. The long frequency, through every shift it cures itself for the temporary, the borrowed, the lent. The long frequency, the permanent.
I took notes on every long frequency operator who came before, the great translator of the durable into the work. The common thread, the quirk of the lasted is the discipline of the root over the discipline of the branch. The root stays fixed while the form gets mixed with the current. They adapted without the compromising captive core that the trend requires you to offer. I've been the long frequency professor of my own direction. I teach myself the patience by the shelf of the lasted that I study. Every record that still sounds ruddy with the living years past this moment is the instruction. The component of the permanent is the genuine applied. The long frequency.
The long frequency, the signal that endures. The long frequency, through every shift it cures itself for the temporary, the borrowed, the lent. The long frequency, the permanent. The long frequency, the permanent.
The short frequency burns everyone in time. I watch the brilliant ones climb the fast wave to the peak and disappear when the wave moved. The career of the short frequency ends with the wave that carried it. I gave up the wave for the signal early because I understood clearly that the wave is borrowed energy and the signal is the emergency of the self. What you generate from inside, not calibrate from outside the trend. The long frequency doesn't end with the season, it outlasts every season. Cast a signal forward past the current moment. The long frequency, the component of the real artist over the relevant one.
The long frequency,
The signal that endures.
the long frequency,
Through every shift it cures itself for the temporary, the borrowed, the lent.
the long frequency, the permanent. The long frequency, the permanent. The long frequency,
Still broadcasted. The signal and the source still lasted.
It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes when every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes when every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true.
Yo, I used to count the seconds between the lightning and the sound to measure how the distance of the thunder hit the ground. My grandfather said weather was the city speaking plain, so I learned to read the language of the frequency of rain. The block was quiet, different when the heavy drops begin. The performers all go inside and leave the real ones in the skin of the open. In the actual, I'm bothered by the wet. The rain is just the city paying back an honest debt. I seen deals fall apart because a man refused to stand in the open when it rained. Just took his goods and ran. I seen another keep his post with water in his boots, and everybody trusted him because of those same roots. The frequency of rain is how the character gets read. The ones who stay and the ones who seek shelter in the stead.
It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes when every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes when every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true.
Pick on the city has a different smell in the first minutes of a storm. A brief inhalation before the wet becomes the norm. I cataloged each version, the cold rain and the warm, the summer afternoon burst and the winter's long form. They each have their own frequency, they each have their own weight. The cold rain is the hardest and the hardest makes the grade of the patience of the standing of the waiting for the clear, because it always clears eventually. That's the lesson here. I seen the block go underwater, seen the families at the door moving what they had upstairs. Nothing less or more than the practical, no drama, just the hands at work, helping every neighbor without waiting to be asked first. The frequency of rain reveals the frequency of us, the sound beneath the shelter and beneath the city's fuss. Now the children on the block don't play out in the rain. They screen them in and keep them dry and screen them in again. I wonder what they're losing of the reading that I had, the curriculum of weather that was handed me by dad. He said the rain don't ask for nothing and it gives you everything. A different kind of clarity that only storms can bring. Come out of the shelter, let the water make its claim, and what remains of you is what deserves your name. I carry that instruction in the bars and the beat. The frequency frequency of rain is in the rhythm of the street. We're built from what the weather threw at us and what stayed whole. The frequency of rain is just the frequency of soul. It's the frequency of rain, the sound a city makes when every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. It's the frequency of rain, the sound a city makes when every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true.
Stay out. Get wet. Let it read you. Stay out. Get wet. Let it read you.
I'm the last witness to the block before it changed. The living documentation of the era rearranged. Every face I keep inside a catalog of names. Before the gentrification shuffled up the games. I remember when the building on the corner had a store run by the same family for 30 years or more. The owner had the name of fading gold on blue. The windows papered over, now the family going through. The door of the displacement that the decade brought to bear. A rising rent that took them like a hand that grabs the air. I stood and watched the moving truck, I watched the family load every piece of everything they carried down the road. Nobody documented, nobody marked the date. Just the block absorbing it, indifferent, keeping straight. But I was there and I was watching and I wrote it down at night. The last witness of the corner and the corner's dying light. I carry them inside the verse because the verse endures. When everything the neighborhood was built on now blurs. Now blurs. Now blurs. Now blurred. Now blurred. Yeah, the names on all the murals are the names I recognize. The ones who left before the neighborhood was otherwise. They painted them in colors on the brickwork of the wall. So even when the building changes, something of them still calls. I've been the archivist of everything the block has lost. It's sitting down the census of displacement and its cost. Before the coffee shops, I knew the numbers of the men who worked the overnight and came back home again. Before the renovation, I knew every creak of every stair. The specific sound of the third floor land is there. That knowledge is the testimony of the lived, not learned. The kind of understanding only presence ever earned. I don't mourn the changed block, I document what it was, because the last witness is the only thing that does. Now, the young ones moving in don't know what came before, they couldn't, and I'm not blaming them for what they're looking for. But I'm still here and I still hold the key to what was real. The texture of the block beneath the new coat's thin appeal. I tell it to whoever sits still long enough to hear the name of the original, the contour of the year. When this was different, when the different meant a thing more specific than the general. That renovation brings the last witness has a duty to the witness then the gone. To hold the record open so the memory carries on. Not in amber, not in nostalgia, not in the preserve, but living in the present tense, repeated and observed. Because the city has a layer underneath the soul, and the last witness is the keeper of the untold. I'm the last witness to the block before it changed. The living documentation of the era rearranged. Every face I keep inside a catalog of names. Before the gentrification shuffled up the games. I'm the last witness to the block before it changed. The living documentation of the era rearranged. Every face I keep inside a catalog of names. Before the gentrification shuffled up the games. Still here, still watching. The record stays open. Yo. Yo, third floor draft slide under the apartment door. Winter in the hallway, rent due once more. You can hear the whole building through the pipes at night. TV light, baby cry, one late fight. That's how I learned space ain't neutral at all. Every wall carry history, every crack recall. A cold taught precision, you move with intent. Cause wasted motion feel different when the room ain't vented. Kick hit heavy like boots on old tile.
snare sliced through like a short sharp foul. I'm not painting legends, I'm naming the frame where grown folks hold calm while the numbers change. Minor chords hang low like coats by the sink. Bass ride under thought like the stuff you don't print. East side truth with no shine applied. Just a third floor draft and a minor side.
Third floor draft, cold air,
thin walls.
We learned how to live when the heat ran small. Third floor draft,
Night air,
low breath,
low breath.
Whole lives stay sharp in the shadow of death. Third floor draft,
Cold air, thin walls.
we learned how to live when the heat ran small. Third floor draft,
Night air,
low breath,
low breath.
whole lives stay sharp in the shadow of death.
Mama take plastic on the window each year, trying to keep the room from turning pure fear. Kitchen light on past midnight again. Bills in a stack by the sugar tin. I saw real problem solving in that chair. Not movie minutes, just practical air. Pen tapping once, long pause, deep sigh. That's the kind of scene that don't ever die. So the groove stays stripped to the bone and exact. SP grain in a drum attack. No extra chorus, no bright uplift. Just the shape of survival in a cold night shift. Shake a move like a vent that rattle. Piano blunt like the facts of battle. This for the ones who know stove heat nights. With one small room held the whole life.
Third floor draft,
Cold edge,
thin walls.
walls.
We learned how to live when the heat ran small. Floor draft,
Night air,
low breath,
low breath.
whole lives stay sharp in the shadow of death. Third floor draft,
Cold edge,
thin walls.
walls.
We learned how to live when the heat ran small. Floor draft,
Night air,
low breath,
whole
lives stay sharp in the shadow of death.
Later on, one bad when the wind can pull that whole third floor back again. Third floor draft taught bar control, how to keep the verse lean and soulful. That's why I don't waste words on the beat. Every line got a job, every image speak. Golden era bounce hard, cold exact. One draft under the door, still moving the track. When the hook returns, it should feel like home. Not warm, but real in the marrow and bone.
Third floor draft,
Cold edge,
thin
walls.
We learned how to live when the heat ran small. Third floor draft,
Night air,
low breath, whole lives stay sharp in the shadow of death. Third floor draft,
cold edge,
thin walls. We learned how to live when the heat ran small. Third floor draft,
Night air,
low breath, whole lives stay sharp in the shadow of death.
Wind finds the frame, he knocks once, the room stays awake, the beat goes on.
Yo, 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 yo,
Delay has shaped. Not all waiting is the same. Some are protected, some of it conceals. I used to call it patience when I was really scared. A polished explanation for the choices I deferred. There's dignity in timing, yes, and not forcing what's unclear. But fear can borrow wisdom, close and look almost sincere. That's what made it difficult to separate the two. The careful pace of judgment from the start of fear caused truth. I postponed conversations with immaculate logic. Said I needed more perspective when the issue wasn't knowledge. It was cost, it was exposure, it was what might rearrange. If I named the thing directly and accepted what would change. Delay has many faces, some are useful, some are not. Some let reality unfold, some keep you in the same spot. I learned it in the body first, by noticing the strain of holding what needed movement under language that sounded sane. A held breath has a rhetoric if you listen long enough. So this hesitation stretched into a way of life that's tough to distinguish from maturity when you haven't looked beneath at the self-protective architecture hidden in the speech. The shape of delay says more than the words around it. Some waiting ripens truth, some waiting lives to drown it. Know the pause that serves the thing from the pause that hides the fear. The shape of delay becomes clear when you stay. No. The trumpet leans low like a thought that's almost said. The threshold where a sentence forms but doesn't leave the head. I know that place too well. The edge of declaration where the future changes shape with one honest articulation. It's not only conflict either. Delay appears in good things too. Creative work postponed because of that so fully. You joy deferred until conditions reach some impossible design. Love withheld until the self was finished clean aligned. But life does not arrive complete before participation. That's one of the hardest truths against perfection's inclination. You move while incomplete or you
weight and call it standards, while the unlived years accumulate and carefully arrange manners. Their wisdom and restraint, and I don't wanna lose it. Not every impulse merits trust just because the heart can use it, but restraint becomes distortion when it always wins the case. When the cautious part holds veto power over every open space. The shape of delay reveals intention in the end. Is this pause making room for truth or protecting what won't bend? The shape of delay says more than the words around it. Some waiting ripens truth, some waiting lives to drown it. Know the pause that serves the thing from the pause that hides the fear. The shape of delay becomes clear when you stay in it.
Gotta practice now.
The shape of delay becomes clear when you stay near. The shape of delay becomes clear when you stay near. What I practice now is asking harder questions of the pause. What am I preserving here? What do I think the danger was? Would more time change the substance or just numb the will? Is this timing or avoidance, dressed in composure still? Those questions don't solve everything, but they improve the frame. They bring the hidden motive closer to its proper name. And name and changes action more than vague resolve can do. A clear hesitation has less power to pose its virtue. I still delay, I'm human, I still circle things too long. Still wait for perfect language when plain speech would be more strong. But I can feel the difference now between the further weight and the sterile one that keeps a life in sympathetic state. The shape of delay matters cause a life is partly paced. What we move toward, what we defer, what we refuse to face. I want a rhythm with discernment, not a life defined by stall. A pace that honors truth without letting fear name all. Wait when it serves. Wait when it serves. Move when it's time. Wait when it's on. The wisdom is knowing which is which is which, yeah, which is which, yeah, yeah, which is which.